Forget everything you think you know about Apple's product announcements this year, because the Vision Pro was just a shiny distraction and the M5 MacBooks were just the warm-up act. The real launch, the one that fundamentally changes everything about how you live in your home, is happening right now, and it is happening this November. Apple is not just selling gadgets anymore. They are quietly installing the central nervous system of our digital life, and they're doing it by selling you pure intelligence disguised as affordable hardware. We're talking about the HomePod Mini 2, the Apple TV 2025, and the next-generation AirTag. And these are not minor updates with just a new color or a slightly faster processor. These devices are the foundation of Apple's terrifyingly brilliant new AI master plan. Let's start with the HomePod Mini because you might be asking yourself why you should even care about a tiny mesh speaker that hasn't been updated in years. The original Mini was actually an embarrassment under the hood, a shame for a company that prides itself on cutting-edge silicon because it was stuck on the ancient S5 chip. That chip was first used in the Apple Watch Series 5 way back in 2019, which means Apple sold you a smart speaker running on years-old watch technology that was obsolete before you even unboxed it. But now that is all changing because Apple is finally fixing its mistake. We are seeing inventories drop everywhere at major retailers, which is the classic sign of a cleanup operation where they are clearing the shelves for the new model. The HomePod Mini 2 is getting a full brain transplant. It is not getting a simple upgrade. It is getting a whole new mind. The old S5 chip is gone, and it is being replaced by the S9 or even the S10 processor, which is the latest and fastest chip from the modern Apple Watch lineup. Why does a speaker need this much power? It is not just for slightly richer bass or louder volume. It is for Apple Intelligence and strictly on-device processing. This is the key phrase that you need to understand because it means Siri no longer needs to go to the cloud to think. Siri becomes fast, Siri becomes smart, and Siri starts to learn your context perfectly. The speaker stops being a simple music player and starts being a constant listening assistant that understands multi-step commands, knows who is talking, and knows exactly where you are. This is how Apple finally fixes Siri, not by giving you a better speaker, but by giving you a perfect listener. But the control doesn't stop with the brain because you have to look at the connections. The new M1 wireless chipset is inside, supporting Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 6. This is not about just streaming faster music. It is about total home network dominance. It gives you instant handoffs and provides incredible stability so that when you ask to turn off the lights, it happens instantly without that annoying pause. Even more shocking is the inclusion of the second-generation UWB chip, which stands for ultra-wideband. This means the speaker knows your exact location in the room, it knows where you're walking, and it knows when you're coming home. Imagine walking from the kitchen to the living room, and your music doesn't just transition, the entire speaker setup reacts to your presence. Your agenda pops up on a nearby screen, and your lights adjust all because the speaker knows exactly where your phone and you are. This is the proximity-based master plan where Apple wants your devices to be hyper-aware of your movements so they can anticipate your every need. The new acoustic chamber and sound tuning are just a cover story for the audiophiles, but the core product is now pure, affordable AI, and the price is the ultimate bait because they're keeping the cost at $99. They're making the entry point cheap because they want this listening device in every single room of your house. But the HomePod Mini is just the foot soldier in this war for your living room. The real commander is the Apple TV 2025. This product has been overlooked for too long, viewed as just a way to watch Netflix, but now is being positioned as the central nervous system of the entire Apple home. The chip upgrade here is massive, jumping from the A15 to the powerful A17 Pro chipset. This is the same silicon that powered the iPhone 15 Pro, and you have to ask yourself why you need this much power for simple streaming. The answer is that you don't. This power is for running intense AI and for complex Apple Intelligence. It enables hardware-level ray tracing, which is a term usually saved for high-end gaming PCs. Why is this in your living room streaming box? Because the Apple TV is no longer just a box. It is the hub that processes your viewing habits, generates hyper-personalized recommendations, and acts as the central processing unit for all your data. And here is the most shocking rumor of all regarding the Apple TV: the camera. Rumors strongly suggest an Apple TV variant with a built-in camera is coming, or at least deep integration for one. They will tell you it is for FaceTime calls on the big screen, and that is the obvious answer, but the true power is much deeper. This camera enables home monitoring and allows for advanced gesture control. It turns your TV into an all-seeing eye that lets you control your environment with a wave of your hand. This device becomes the absolute central hub for monitoring your home, your family, and your digital interactions. The biggest hint that this is Apple's strategy is the rumored price drop, with the Apple TV potentially falling below the $100 mark. Apple is making the two most crucial AI processors in your home, the Mini and the TV, as cheap as possible. They're making them cheap, so you will buy them immediately. They're selling you cheap hardware to install their very expensive, very powerful AI. This leads us to the third piece of the puzzle, the AirTag 2. While the first AirTag was a massive success for finding lost keys, the second version is about spatial computing and integrating the physical world into the digital map. The upgrade here is all about range and precision. Using the same second-generation ultra-wideband chip found in the new iPhones and the new HomePod Mini, the AirTag 2 will allow for precision finding at much greater distances. But more importantly, it integrates with the Vision Pro headset. Imagine putting on your headset and seeing exactly where your keys, your wallet, and your backpack are located in 3D space, highlighted in your vision. The AirTag 2 is the anchor that connects your physical possessions to Apple's digital overlay. This November lineup is Apple's quiet revolution. It is a complete ecosystem reset. They are not creating a smart home. They're creating an intelligent, responsive, and completely controlled digital environment. They're setting the stage for total AI integration into your daily lifestyle. The HomePod Mini 2 listens and locates you. The Apple TV processes and visualizes your data. The AirTag tracks your physical world. And it all runs on a unified, high-speed network powered by Wi-Fi 7 and custom silicon. You might think you're just buying a speaker or a streaming box, but you are actually buying into a future where your home knows what you want before you even ask for it. The strategic brilliance here is that Apple is doing this while everyone else is distracted by $3,000 headsets and $2,000 laptops. By aggressively pricing these home devices, they ensure mass adoption. Once you have a HomePod in the kitchen, an Apple TV in the living room, and AirTags on your essentials, you are locked into their ecosystem more tightly than ever before. The seamless handoff, the shared intelligence, and the privacy-focused on-device processing make it nearly impossible to switch to a competitor. Google and Amazon have tried to own the home with cheap speakers, but they lack the high-performance silicon and the integrated software layer that Apple has spent decades building. This is the checkmate move. So, when you see these products drop, don't look at them as boring updates. Look at the specs. Look at the chips. Look at the connectivity. This is Apple building the infrastructure for the next decade of computing, where the computer disappears and simply becomes the environment around you. It is exciting, it is a little bit scary, and it is absolutely brilliant. If you like the video, subscribe, share the video, and hit the bell icon like that. Here is my best opinion about this product lineup. I genuinely believe the HomePod Mini 2 with the S10 chip is going to be the sleeper hit of the year because fixing Siri's speed and responsiveness addresses the single biggest complaint users have had for years. If Siri actually works instantly and reliably, this $99 device becomes the most valuable gadget in your house. The Apple TV with the A17 Pro chip is overkill for streaming, which tells me Apple has big plans for gaming that they haven't fully revealed yet. This combination of affordable, high-power hardware is exactly what the smart home market needs to finally mature from a novelty into a utility.